welcome to Rusty Boat. Today, wind permitting, I'm going to finish this project I've been doing for my neighbor Seth. He gave me four large commercial lawnmower blades a couple of years ago, like a year and a half, 2 years ago, because he wanted this what's called a Sawtooth Ironwood fighting stick. And the company that makes them, it's been out of stock for years. It was out of stock like for at least a year before he asked me to make this thing. And this has been a back burner project for me with all my other projects for like a year and a half, 2 years. But today I'm ready to quench the sawtooth part and the butt end point. Probably going to do like a clay thing just to isolate what I want to harden and keep everything else more. But I actually don't think this is going to harden that much. At best, this is medium steel. Lawnmower blades, even commercial ones, are notorious for not being high carbon steel because you don't want something that's going to be brittle, be a safety hazard if it hits a rock or something, right? But it's going to be tough. And for what this type of weapon was intended to do, that's what you want. Because he's talking about like if you're blocking a sword or something, and I don't know the style, so I'm just the styles that I know how you do it. But this would be plenty for blocking a blade and chipping a blade, breaking a blade. It's not that big a deal. This isn't intended to cut through anything. So this is like a sophisticated bludgeoning weapon, really, or poking, close combat. But respect, to the people that do this fighting art, but it's a different kind of thing. So I'm not like concerned about the carbon content of it as much as just getting everything right. And Seth, if I say that I've quenched it, then that'll, I imagine, make him happy. And who knows? Maybe it gains a little extra hardness out of that. But after that, then I slap the wood on it. I finish this and I give it over to him, and I'm done. He's happy, and I'm happy. So, all right, stay tuned. Okay, so what I've got here is roughly equal proportions of clay, stone powder, and charcoal. So the clay will, give it the, the cohesion, the, stickiness, hold it all together. And the stone powder keeps everything from shrinking after it's dried. And the charcoal keeps things from flaking. So the guy over at Crossout Forge has a whole page on this. And again, if I think of it, you can check last week's. I've got it in the description there, but I'll try to remember to put it in this one too, because it's pretty good information. And so anyhow, there's that. I'm going to mix this all together with some water and do it as evenly as I can without lumps, hopefully, and apply it to Seth's piece. Okay, so what we have here is a very hastily clayed item. So the edges, I'm not going to do the little stripes. I'm not worried about this cracking. Hopefully not. But all right, so we're gonna throw this in the fire. Okay, we quenched it. There was a little bit of a warp. I think I've hammered that out gently with the wooden mallet and a chopstick underneath just to kind of give it a little bit of space to put itself back right. And there is a wee bit of D-lam on there. I don't think it's going to be a problem. But yeah, this is what it looks like. We're going to throw it on the sander and see just how much flatness it retained. Pretty good, but I don't think it's perfect. But this is a Sawtooth ironwood fighting stick weapon, forged from 4 commercial lawnmower blades that are low to medium carbon at best. I'm not sure how much better it can be, but I have no idea about the steel and the product that was sold by the place that's been out of stock for a few years. There's really, I haven't seen any information on that at all. But I think this will be fine for what he wants it for. Be a good practice weapon, and hell, if you went back in time and actually had to use it, I think it'd be a perfectly functional weapon as it is. So, but martial arts weapons go, it's one of the stranger ones that it is by far the strangest one I've ever had to make. But it's been interesting, and I'll show you what it looks like when it's done. All right, so just for the record, after sanding, here's what it all looks like on this side. And you can see, yes, there's slight D-lams, nothing that's going to affect anything. But you can see also sort of a pattern there. Like I said, it's like 1 to 2 dozen layers at most. I mean, it's like, so this was not made, this was not layered for any other intended purpose other than to take those lawnmower blades and fold them into one piece of steel. And to do that, I had to pretty much draw them back into a small billet and then draw it all back out again. That's generally what I do with this stuff. So I don't grab a slab usually and just work on it, and I couldn't in this case because lawnmower blades have their own holes which do not correspond with what this was needed. I didn't even want to put holes in this, but it did need some kind of riveting, or in this case going to be doweling, because I want the wood to kind of be glued so it's its own one piece around this. I think that would be better, because I know, like, I could use copper or brass rivets or something, but I think that would put a different kind of stress on the wood if this was being smacked against anything, whereas wood to wood might be a little more resilient as long as I use good hardwood. I don't have goji wood, but I do have curly maple, which is not nearly as hard, but it's still hardwood. I would have liked to use some Brazilian walnut, but I just didn't have a piece long enough. So, okay, so let's move on. Okay, I have Seth's piece all clamped up with the curly maple, because that is the hardest wood that I have. I think I have enough clamps. All right, I have here the Sawtooth fighting stick, curly maple variety, not the ironwood variety that has been out of stock online for, I don't know, about 3 years. I was asked to make this about 1.5 years, 2 years ago by my neighbor Seth, and it is finished now. 1/4 inch in the front, about 1/8 in the back, and the teeth are spaced just to my personal taste, but they are oriented, as best I can tell, correctly from what I've seen online. There's scant stuff online about this thing, so what I had to go on was memory of the piece that Seth had on loan for one day, and that I got to see and hold and kind of get a sense of. Originally, this would have had shark teeth or animal teeth, but once, from what I understand, once the islands where these were used got steel, they did make a steel variety. I have seen nothing online about that image-wise, just I've seen one image of one with the teeth, but there's not much to go on, at least from what I've been able to find. Balance-wise, it is meant to be on heavy because it is a bludgeoning thing, but it's also meant to catch blades and, allegedly break them, but it could definitely do damage to them. And it's got this for close-in fighting. So be interesting to see what Seth says when I give this to him in about a week or two. Kind of want to refine it a little bit more, and I want to show somebody else before I, turn this over to Seth. But that's where this stands right now, and glad to be done with this and move on to other things. So, all right. I hope you had a good week, and I will see you on the other side of this one. You stay well. Be good.